Hey everybody, this is Dro Soul. Welcome back. Today we are going to be doing a breakdown process of traditional oil painting. And not only are we going to be doing oil painting, we are going to be doing a portrait. It's a commission I got from a client, and we will be doing this in traditional fine arts. So this is not going to be the traditional body painting video. Like I said, we are going to switch it up. So today we are going to go ahead and do fine arts. Yes, that's right. And like I said, every time I post a video, it's going to be a little bit different. It might be fine arts, it might be body painting, and it's just going to go from there. And just wanted to show you the process and my approach to oil painting. And yes, like I said, I not only do body painting, I also do art. So, this is a good moment to learn the process of oil painting. I know there's a lot of beginning painters out there that want to get into that world, and they're a little bit scared about oil painting, but you shouldn't be. Oil painting is not that bad. It's really pretty simple once you get kind of the basic principles. And yeah, so let's get this started, and please like and subscribe.
Alright, so now we're going to begin. For this, I will be starting in underpainting with burnt sienna. Usually that's my go-to color. It's great to have a base coat. You don't want to necessarily start white, but at the same time, everybody has a different approach. This is just my approach. So once I do the whole canvas, I normally then follow up with a drawing of the outline. Then I set up my palette. For this palette, I'll be using titanium white, raw umber, burnt sienna, burnt umber, cadmium yellow, cadmium red, ultramarine blue, permanent green light. And then I'll be using Winsor liquid and also a little bit of Winsor linseed oil. Now these mediums are important because one slows the drying process, the other one speeds it up. So depends what kind of painter you are. A lot of painters normally have their own pace. I switch back and forth. If there's times where I want to paint wet on wet, then I'll stick to linseed. If I want to get to the next layer, I'll paint with liquid. So here, as you see, I've already have my canvas established with the drawing. And normally I have a picture reference or I have my iPad, whichever you want. So now we're establishing our first layers. Now, everyone's different when it comes to painting. I'll tell you this much about myself. I like to spread around, and then I like to build up my layers. That's how I was taught in art school. So, and that kind of just stuck throughout the time. So right now I'm establishing her colors. With this, I'm using a hog bristle brush. I use a variety amount of brushes. It could be synthetic, it could be sable, it could be hog, it could be weasel, whichever you prefer. And everyone, like I said, has a different approach. For this, I am just establishing the base. I am not really concerned about getting it to look what it needs to right now. Like I said, right now it's just about spreading around, establishing my images, and then from there I get an idea of the direction I'm gonna go in next. So right now I'm working on the coat. I'm establishing the colors, the blues, the tones, values, and from there it starts to build up my image. Now keep in mind, like I said, spread around. You don't want to overly concentrate on one area. I same rule done with body painting. I don't like to move around, spread around. The more you spread around, the more you have a direction of what's next. Usually when you overly concentrate on one area, you tend to overwork it, and sometimes even end up losing what you were going for because you got lost in it. So as you can see right now, I'm spreading around, I'm working on the background, going back and forth between the background and the forefront and the image itself. So with oil painting, it's different than acrylic. You're on its time. Acrylic basically dries much faster, and I guess you would say there's more room for error in acrylic given that it dries you. I wouldn't say necessarily with oil painting. I normally like to establish my colors, my base, and then once I build them up, I like to go back and forth. And then once I have my base coat set, that's when I start bringing out other layers and start shaping it. So I basically like to block it which means you fill in the colors. Then I like to start sculpting, which is basically start shaping out your images. And then the last step would be detail. So blocking, sculpting, and detail. Those are the three major steps that I would recommend for anyone that does painting or oil painting. As you can see, I am now establishing more of the figure. I am adding the details, the color tones. You have eyes now, you have teeth, you have lips. You know, at this point I'm guessing that you have been painting for a while, so this is just a video showing you the process. And like I said, as far as the beginners go at your own pace. Don't feel like you need to rush. I took a while on this painting. I was very busy with so many different work, commissions and gigs, but it was a fun process. It was for a friend who commissioned me for a gift to his father's fiance, who happens to be an attorney. And she's based in Dallas, and she wants or has aspirations to work for the Capitol one day. So I incorporated the Capitol in the background. So this isn't necessarily a true depiction of the Dallas, but it was quite interesting. So right now I'm working on the garage, the background. I'm building up. Like I said, I like to have an established image that I like to build off of. And right here I am pretty much painting around, bringing out all the other colors and stuff like that. And like I said, when it comes to oil painting, you're on its time. So the cool thing about oil painting is that you can blend so much better. Blending is such a great part of this because it doesn't dry as fast as you would see with acrylics. So like I said, going back with the details, bringing out the nose, nostrils, and just working it little by little, building it up. And this is basically my approach to oil painting. This is my first video for oil painting. On my other videos I will have some better descriptions and versions of it, but this is pretty much the speed up process, and it shows you basically how it looks before and after. So we're coming towards the end, and I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm gonna speed this up to the final product. Like I said, guys, painting should be on your time. If you have a deadline, that's different, but always be aware that you can work at it at your pace. And yeah, this is basically the final outcome of it. Final piece. This is now dry, and this is what the final product looks like. So if you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below, and I will get to you when I get them. So thank you once again, guys, for watching this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this process. Like I said, I'll be having more variety of videos later on. Also, please go follow me on Instagram at @RoseSoul. Thanks, guys.